Here's a video showing what we like to call a two-stage polish with the KP92 polishing cream and MB12 polishing powder from mbstonecare.com. What we're going to do is show you how to polish using both compounds in the same process, using a 3M super polish and white pad. And you want to have a good neutral cleaner on hand to clean up after you polish, and a spray bottle of water. Also, you want a machine that can go to low speed, 600, 800 RPM, like the Makita 9227C. And make sure you have your no spin backer pad so that you can easily go up to the edges and get close without making any marks. For this video, the countertop has been brought up to 1800 grit resin diamond using the Regent resin 5-inch pads. We're going to start with the KP92 polishing cream, and you want to get a good amount there. You can see it's a little dried up. Just add a little bit of water to it. Put your pad on top of it and just start with the slow speed and get the powder and the water spread out over the surface you're going to work on, approximately 2 to 3, sometimes 4 square feet at a time. You don't really want to go any bigger than this because it'll be harder to control and get that polish going. So you can see the amount of polish and the amount of water that we're using. You want it to be transparent, creamy, like hazy slurry. You don't want it spraying everywhere. You don't want puddles. Just work it in to the stone and get a good polish on it. As you can see, this is the most exciting part, going back and forth over the area repeatedly. Just do this until you get a good feel for it. You should start to feel the pad moving a little bit easier across the surface. The slurry will start to dry up a little bit and turn into a really thick residue, but still has some moisture in it. You're just looking to get a decent polish out of it. At this time, you're not looking to get a super high polish. You can squeegee it with your finger or a squeegee and check it. At this time, it's looking pretty good, so we're going to go ahead and get this cleaned up. The reason why we're doing a two-stage polish is a couple of reasons. The limestone is very, very soft, but also can give you a little bit of trouble resistance when polishing. You can polish most limestones to a very, very high gloss, but most of the time it takes a lot of pressure and a lot of heat. So you can actually spend more time than you want to polishing this stuff. The machine can get hot. So the first process is with the wet polish KP92. Gets a pretty good shine, as you can see here. That's a really nice gloss, but we're gonna get it significantly better than that. The second part of the process uses a more aggressive powder, MB12. You use very, very little of it, and instead of using it damp like we did the other one, we're going to change the pad here so that we have a pad that's kind of loaded up with MB12, and we're going to work it wet to dry. Starts out moist, as you'll see here in a minute, and it's going to go completely dry and you burnish it away. So you put some down in a circle there. You can see you didn't use very much at all. Put a little bit of water down to wet it, just to moisten it, so that you get that same really thin slurry going. You don't want it splattering everywhere again. You want to have this controlled because it will etch if it splatters. Notice how much thinner that this slurry is than the previous compound slurry. It's actually almost not like a slurry at all. It's just like a residue. This is plenty to get the powder working, to activate it, the friction from the pad is going to work that in and get that polish to pop. Notice going around the corners and stuff, you can see the no spin backer pad allows you to ride along the edge really nicely without creating any marks or anything like that. Continue to polish with the MB12 until you start to see it dry up like this. When it starts to dry up like this, you can continue to polish. That friction from when the water evaporates is what you want to pop that high shine. You can see already how much more clarity and depth that this stuff has. When you're satisfied and if you're done polishing, use a neutral cleaner and buff it completely dry with a microfiber towel. And make sure you get it nice and clean around the edges and stand back and check your work. Most people think that limestone can't be polished to have a very high clarity, but right here you can see the lemon tree and the reflection in the background. It's got very crisp clarity, it's got a lot of depth, and it really doesn't get any better than that.